Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Hold on one second.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome everybody to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you could stream the show live from the station website at radiolex.us to listen to us from anywhere in the entire world. I am broadcasting from the Deborah Hensley Studios here at Radio Lex on North Limestone. It is July the 31st, 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big day for Off the Cuff with Adam Banks because as of today, folks, as of July the 31st, 2025, Off the Cuff with Adam Banks is now syndicated. We are now on another radio station, in addition to being on WLXU 93.9 FM here in Lexington. As of today, we are now in a new market. We have been added by WMMT 88.7 FM in Whitesburg. I am so excited to just welcome the Eastern Kentucky listening audience from that area. That is my hometown. I am from the Appalachia area, Eastern Kentucky. A lot of people want to ask, where are you from? It goes back and forth. Knott County, Letcher County, because I went to school in Knott County, but lived in Letcher County and lived in both areas, really, partly of my childhood. But just to be in that area is a dream come true. And now this station is broadcasted in 9 different cities. That means it can be heard on 9 different radio dials. Off the Cuff with Adam Banks will air at 7 p.m. on Thursdays on WMMT. And like I said, it will be 9 cities to do since I started Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. And my goal is for the show to become nationally syndicated across the United States, in all 50 states. I'm still working on getting Off the Cuff in other states, but hey, we're already in Kentucky and now Virginia and parts of West Virginia. So we've already covered 3 out of the 50 states so far. So folks, it's only going to get better. But I'm very excited to welcome our new affiliate, WMMT, and thank them for welcoming us to their broadcasting family. Their station is known as Real People Radio or Possum Radio, and it's the mountain music broadcast station. They talk about social issues, and they were founded in 1985, and it's a 24-hour ran station, and their mission is to talk about issues facing the mountain communities, and it's got original programming by mountain people. I absolutely love that station. It is a very endearing station. A lot of people listen to that station. The reach of WMMT is huge. The tower of the radio station sits on the main top of Pine Mountain. And I've got my brother in the studio, Elijah. Pine Mountain, it's a pretty tall mountain, right?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And have you ever been to the tippy top of it?
A couple times, yeah.
Well, it's pretty big, and it sits on the tippy top, folks. The tower does. So the tippy top of that mountain sits the tower that broadcast this show now. But folks, we are so excited to now be in the Eastern Kentucky market. So what I would like to do over the next couple of weeks, since we're a show now that's not just broadcasted over the radio in Lexington, now that we're broadcasted in new areas and in new cities across the state, I want to do a deep dive to each new city that we are now broadcasted in, and I would like to start with where WMMT is located, right in the heart of Letcher County, Whitesburg, Kentucky. That is one of our newest cities that is broadcasting Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. Whitesburg is a very enduring small town. It's got about 1,700 people that currently live there. It was started in 1842. Stephen Hogg gave land to build the county seat there. Whitesburg is in the middle of Letcher County. And let's see here. It says just a few fun facts about Whitesburg. They're known for just being one of the very few enduring small towns left in small town America, really. They've got the Mountain Heritage Festival, which is a big festival, hopefully, that I can attend in the very near future, maybe do a remote show from the Mountain Heritage Festival. They have the very famous newspaper. What's it called, Elijah? The Mountain Eagle?
Mountain Eagle.
Mountain Eagle, yes. And the Mountain Eagle is an awesome paper because they have this little category in the Mountain Eagle of the Letcher County paper where it's called Speak Your Piece, and people can write in just their opinions on things that are in their mind. So, and it can be about somebody or any type of issue, and they publish it in the paper. So it's a very interesting newspaper. Notable people from Whitesburg, it says here that Margaret Banks, no relation to me, she was the 26th president of Texas A&M. Did you know, Elijah?
Cousin, yeah.
Did you know, Elijah, that was her cousin?
Yeah, that's her cousin.
Yeah. I said no relation. I just assumed it wasn't, but no. Catherine, the former president of Texas A&M from Whitesburg, related to Elijah and I. Harry Cottle was an author from Letcher County. Jessamine Duke, a martial arts fighter. Emily Frazier, the former mayor and chief clerk of the U.S. Senate. Tom Gish is from Whitesburg. He is the publisher of the Mountain Eagle newspaper. Goebel Ritter is a player for the New York Knicks basketball team. Lee Sexton is a traditional Appalachian banjo musician. And Rob Webb is a well-known voice artist, all from Letcher County, Kentucky. And folks, we're so excited to be in Letcher County. We're so excited to be a part of that city. And I want to thank everybody for listening. If you're just listening for the first time to this program, it's very nice to meet you. I would like to welcome you in to the listening family. And even though you are late to the party, it doesn't matter because you still are here. And we welcome new listeners at all times. So, folks, welcome to a new era right here on Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. We have a great show ahead of you today. Stick with us. We will be right back.
It's your boy Flake Griffin. You listen to Radio Lex, the voice of the people. WLXU 93.9 LPFM Lexington.
Radio Lex only exists in our community because of the generosity of supporting members like Marilyn and Daniel.
Just kind of like,
Thank you for your ongoing commitment to the voice of the people. To learn how you can become a supporting member, visit radiolex.us/donate.
We're just talking about
well, not no more. We're going to talk about Hulk Hogan.
Radio Lex
I mean,
has the
anytime
support of
that
the
you feel like you
Lexington
want
Human
to
Rights
chime in,
Commission,
like,
whose
just
mission is to
start talking,
safeguard
I'll turn your mic
individuals'
off.
legal rights regarding discrimination and promote mutual understanding and respect among the people of Lexington, Fayette County, Kentucky, serving our community for over 60 years. To learn more and to know your rights, visit lexhumanrights.org.
Oh, Wade says hi. He just texted.
Oh, hi, Wade.
Wade, Elijah says hello.
Radio Lex has the support of the YMCA of Central Kentucky. YMCACKY.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. The immortal Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71 years old. He passed away this past Thursday from cardiac arrest. It was a week ago that we lost the Hulkster. Folks, I came on the air last week, and I mentioned briefly in the intro that Hulk Hogan had passed, and I said it wasn't possible for me to give him the legacy segment that he deserved last week because it was still too fresh. The news of the Hulkster passing away was just too much for me to unhatch all at once so quickly. So last week it was impossible for me to really give the Hulkster justice. One of the most iconic professional athletes to ever live, quite possibly and arguably the greatest wrestler to ever live, is no longer here on earth. And folks, anyone who knows who I am knows that I am a huge wrestling fan. And when I lose a wrestler of any sort, it always affects me in some way because it was a part of my childhood. When you lose an athlete, Kobe Bryant or whoever, a lot of people feel some type of way about it because they grew up with that athlete. I am the same way with people like Hulk Hogan, people like Macho Man Randy Savage. Those guys were my athletes. Those guys were my heroes. Those guys were the guys I looked up to growing up. So whenever a wrestler passes away, it really bothers me. But folks, none has bothered me as much as the recent passing of Hulk Hogan. I mean, a absolute legend, a guy who spanned decades in his career. He started in the 80s and wrestled all the way to the early 2000s. Now, he passed away last Thursday from cardiac arrest. I seen a post the other day online that Hulk Hogan had been feeling bad. It was from Jimmy Hart, and it said that possibly Hogan might not make it through the night. Well, when I read that, of course, I, read it, didn't not believe it, but I kind of just overlooked it because you see things like that all the time said about people. But then the next day I wake up to a text from a friend saying that Hulk Hogan passed away, and I was like, dang, that had to be true. What Jimmy Hart was saying about Hulk Hogan was indeed actually true. And he did pass away. They say medics were dispatched to his Clearwater, Florida home early Thursday morning, and they were unable to resuscitate him, and he died, or they actually pronounced him dead when he arrived to the hospital. There is a video seen outside of Hogan's residence that shows the responders desperately trying to save his life. That is not footage that I even care about ever wanting to see. With the way the internet is now, don't be surprised if that doesn't somehow show up on the internet. But the cops tell officials that the cops responded at 9:51 a.m. last Thursday morning, and they were unable to resuscitate him. But Hulk Hogan's real name is Terry Bollea. He started his career in 1983 with the WWE. He became the WWE champion in 1984. And when Vince McMahon bought the WWE from his father from his father back in 1983, Vince McMahon decided to take WWF national. He wanted it to compete with all of the local territories. And in order for him to do that, he had to have one superstar that he could build around. Well, guess what? That main superstar that he chose to build his entire company around was Hulk Hogan. Why not? He was a sight to see, ladies and gentlemen. Just the pure look of Hogan was a sight to see. He was almost 7 feet tall. He had blonde hair. He had 25-inch python arms. And he had so much charisma. It was impossible to ignore Hulk Hogan, whether it was either you listening to him or just looking at him. If you've seen somebody that looked like Hulk Hogan walk through the airport, you're going to stop and stare. You're going to stop what you're doing and watch him. And that's the type of guy Vince McMahon wanted to run his company. So in 1984, he won WWE's heavyweight championship by defeating the Iron Sheik. And it was a very iconic moment in the career of Hulk Hogan. This is him after winning that iconic title.
This is like going to the mountaintop 1,000 times over. I feel the energy. Hulkamania is running worldwide. And it just turns me on me, G. Every one of those 25, 30 plus thousand people with me standing behind me all the way, and it felt great. Well, you have arrived, Hulk Hogan. Have you ever seen anything as beautiful as this, BG? This bill is part yours, too. It's everybody out there.
And there is Andre the Giant joining in the celebration and congratulating Hulk Hogan because Hulk Hogan is the new champion. It was the first time he won the championship, and that let everybody know that, hey, Hogan is the new guy. Hogan is the guy we're going to build the company around. He is going to be our golden goose. And what a golden goose he was. Hulkamania started running wild after that. And folks, Hulk Hogan was a phenomenon. He was on lunchboxes. He was on T-shirts. He was on anything that you could pick up. He was on it. He was, they had a cartoon character of Hulk Hogan. He was on Saturday morning TV shows. He was in movies
Gremlins 2. He was in Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2. Yes, yeah. I forgot about that one. Good one, Elijah. He was also in Mr. Nanny. Santa with Muscles. I mean, the movies were horrible, but he was still in movies. He was a movie star. There was nobody like Hulk Hogan back in that time. And right when Hulk Hogan started to become one of the biggest stars of all time is when he did this next famous thing. He faced Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 in front of 90,000 people. And Andre the Giant was the biggest wrestler to ever wrestle. It was impossible to pick up Andre the Giant and body slam him because of his weight. But it was not impossible for the immortal Hulk Hogan. And it was this moment at WrestleMania 3 when he body slammed Andre the Giant to defeat him to become once again the WWE champion. It's one of the most iconic moments that will go down in infamy in wrestling history because it was such a sight to see. To see Andre the Giant, the 1,000-pound man, getting picked up in the air and slammed to the mat. If anybody could do it, it was Hulk Hogan. Leg drop. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3. It is over. Body slam, hits the leg drop. Hogan is once again the champion. And that is still a moment that is played on TV all of the time. Anytime you see a historical wrestling piece of vignette, a piece of footage, you always see Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant because it had never been done before. And then right when you think Hulk Hogan couldn't get any bigger, he decided to retire from wrestling in 1994. He said he was done. He said he was burnt out, he had had enough of it, and he was going to go and make movies full time. Well, that lasted about 7-8 months before he decided, you know what? I wasn't put on this earth to make movies. I was put on this earth to wrestle. But the thing is he already left the WWE. He already told Vince McMahon that he was leaving. And he had no desire to get back into the ring until Eric Bischoff, the executive producer of WWE's rival company, WCW, approached Hulk Hogan and said, you know, Hulk, I know you said you were done with wrestling, but we would love to hire you, and we would like for you to come work for us. Now, folks, that wasn't just a normal hire. When they hired Hulk Hogan, when WCW hired Hulk Hogan, they actually hired the biggest wrestler of all time. They hired the man who made WWE what it is today. So what's that mean if WCW hires Hulk Hogan and the WWE doesn't have him anymore? Is WCW now considered the number one company? A lot of people thought it was. And a lot of people considered it to be. Some say that it actually factually was bigger than the WWE at the time when Hulk Hogan signed with WCW. I mean, think about it. Where Hulk Hogan is obviously where the biggest wrestling company is, right? Well, in the 90s, that was the case. When Hulk Hogan left and went to the WCW, it was a shock that shocked the world. It shocked the wrestling world, and it shocked everybody. I mean, you know how Kentucky fans always compare Rick Pitino leaving Kentucky and going to Louisville? Well, in the wrestling world, it was exactly the same thing. Hulk Hogan left the WWE and left the number one wrestling company in the world for its rival. And guess what? When he did that, folks, ratings started to beat out WWE thanks to Hulk Hogan. And really what made it successful, it wasn't the yellow and red Hogan that we all fell in love with in the WWE. It was not that. It was when Hogan joined WCW and then turned heel. Now, if you don't know what heel means, for all those non-wrestling fans out there, turning heel means you turn bad guy. Hulk Hogan was known as a babyface all of his career. He was the drink your milk, say your prayers, take your vitamins type of wrestler. He was very clean. He was always ethical. He was always moral. He did nothing to upset fans, to hurt anybody's feelings. He was not nasty in any way. He didn't cheat in any way. He was the most upstanding wrestling citizen that had ever graced a ring. Hulk Hogan was everybody's American hero. So the thought of Hulk Hogan turning into a bad guy was just unrealistic, was never going to happen, would never work. Nobody ever believed he would even take the risk to ruin his legacy by turning bad. But you know what he did, folks? He did exactly that. He turned bad guy. And he did it in 1996 at a WCW pay-per-view when he came down to the ring and cut this promo. When he turned his back on WCW, he turned his back on the fans. And Hulk Hogan is now a bad guy. And when Hulk Hogan became a bad guy, some could say this arguably made him an even bigger star because people couldn't tune out to watch Hulk Hogan. People had to tune in to see what he was going to say next, to see what nasty thing he was going to do next, because this was something people weren't used to. People were used to seeing Hulk Hogan tell you to take your vitamins, say your prayers, drink your milk. They wasn't expecting to turn on the TV and to tell and to have Hulk Hogan tell you to shove it, but that's exactly what Hulk Hogan did. And it was this iconic promo that solidified him turning into a bad guy.
Look at all of this crap in this ring. This is what's in the future for you if you want to hang around the likes of this man Hall and this man Knack. As far as I'm concerned, all of this crap in the ring represents these fans out here. For 2 years, brother, for 2 years, I held my head high. I did everything for the charities. I did everything for the kids. And the reception I got when I came out here, you fans can stick it, brother.
Yes! I love it.
If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, you people wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff would be still selling meat from a truck in Minneapolis. And if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, all these Johnny-come-latelys that you see out here, wrestling wouldn't be here. I was selling out the world, brother, while they were blowing gas to put in their car to get to high school. So the way it is now, brother, with Hulk Hogan.
Absolutely one of the most iconic promos I have ever seen. I was selling out the world when you were bumming gas to put in your car to go to high school.
Yeah, I feel like everybody knew who Hulk Hogan was.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you could literally go up to anybody and just ask them, hey, do you know who this guy is? And they'd say, oh, yeah, that's the guy who rips his shirt off all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, and still to this day, even if you didn't watch wrestling, you still know who it is.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows who Hulk Hogan is.
If you've never seen a match, you still know who it is. What did you think about that? Was that your first time hearing that promo?
I think so, yeah. I've never really been much of a wrestling fan, you know that.
But did that bring chills on you?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that Hulk Hogan's really into it. You can tell he's a really good wrestler.
Well, yeah, he just oozed so much charisma.
He has a lot of charisma. It's something a lot of wrestlers today don't have.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of, I mean, you see people like Logan Paul.
It's so scripted.
I mean, it's also, yeah.
People used to go out to the ring back in the day and speak off the cuff. They would speak just with no preparation.
Well, we got to sell toys, so we don't want to really be too, off the cuff or anything like that.
And Hulk Hogan, he didn't care about his legacy that he had for all of those years of being loved, and he didn't care about his merchandise sales going down. He just went out there and shot an off-the-cuff promo, turned completely heel, turned into a bad guy. I mean, it was iconic. And folks, he went on to wrestle as a heel for many years in the WCW, and then finally made his way back to the WWE like most wrestlers do, and he ended his career in the WWE, and he went into the Hall of Fame in 2005. Now, if anybody deserves to go into the Hall of Fame, it was the immortal Hulk Hogan.
And at the end of the day, the WWE has the greatest athletes in the world. It's the greatest form of entertainment in the world. And now, because they've inducted me into the Hall of Fame, Hulkamania will be immortal. Hulkamania will live forever. And what you gonna do, brothers, when the WWE runs wild on you?
I mean, if anybody was deserving to be in the Hall of Fame, it's Hulk Hogan. Absolutely. And he was solidified as a Hall of Famer in 2005. And folks, I mean, talk about an iconic superstar. So many things that he did. I mean, you can't not talk about Hulk Hogan with maybe talking about his best match of all time, and that was against The Rock in 2002 when it was icon versus icon, history versus future. It was, even though The Rock won the match, even though typically that's how it goes, wrestlers always go out on their back looking up at the lights. You never go out of the company on top. You always lose your last match. That's kind of a thing of respect. But even though Hogan lost that match, the fans loved Hogan so much. Hogan went into that match as a bad guy, but the fans loved him so much that they could not boo him. And they had to make an audible call right then and there to flip him back into a good guy because the fans refused to hate him all those years later, and they just couldn't. Folks, Hulk Hogan, one of the most prolific, one of the most iconic, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, has passed away. It breaks my heart. It really does. I mean, I haven't been this upset over a wrestler passing away since the Macho Man back in 2011. And now, all of these years later, we lost Hulk Hogan, and it was so sad. And I know that this still doesn't give him the justice that he deserves. He deserves so much justice. It's hard to convey what Hulk Hogan meant to people. And it's hard to convey and put in just a short segment of all of the things that he did. I mean, when Hulk Hogan went on to do his reality show, after getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, he got a new career from that. I mean, he had a reality show that followed his family, his wife and his 2 kids, before the Kardashians had. And it was an entertaining show. Now, the show got canceled because him and his wife got a divorce, and that was a whole storyline in itself. Linda, his wife, took 70% of his net worth. Hulk Hogan was left broke with nothing after his wife left him, and he had to rebuild his net worth by doing other things because he was no longer living off his wrestling money anymore. It was the largest divorce settlement in celebrity history, as a matter of fact. And one of the things that I loved most about Hulk Hogan was when he talked about his faith, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. A lot of people, when I posted that Hulk Hogan passed away, a lot of people gave me criticism for telling Hulk Hogan to rest in peace. A lot of people were like, how could you tell a racist to rest in peace? Listen, folks, we all are sinners, every single one of us. Hulk Hogan did a lot of bad things. Hulk Hogan did a lot of horrible, horrible things that he's probably not proud of, that a lot of people aren't proud of that he did. But that doesn't mean that the blood of Jesus Christ can't reach anybody. And Hulk Hogan claims that it reached him. And one of the things that I love about Hulk is he was never afraid to talk about his faith. And it puts me at a little bit of peace knowing where Hulk Hogan is now. So, folks, we will end with Hulk Hogan talking about his faith. But I just want to say, before I play the clip and go to a commercial break, I just want to say that my prayers and thoughts are with the Hogan family and all of his fans out there.
Well, when things were tough, I realized that
this too shall pass, that this was just a temporary situation. I realized that, as long as I made the right choice, and followed my faith more than what people were saying, what the newspapers, what the tabloids were saying, it didn't get sucked into that. None of that stuff was real. The only thing that is really real is the stuff that's going to last forever. Your faith and your belief in God, and knowing that, once you're a Christian, you've accepted Christ as your Savior. You're not going to perish, but you're going to have everlasting life. That belief in itself and that faith is what's pretty much the only thing that's real to me. You know, everything else is kind of like a life situation, but that's my life after life after life.
You are listening to Radio Lex, the voice of the people. WLXU 93.9 LPFM, Lexington, Kentucky.
You sent it to me like a minute before I went on the air.
I know, sorry. He's having fun.
Radio Lex has the support of Kentucky Utilities, lg-ku.com.
You know what his name is?
What?
Raven. Let me see.
It takes a great community to make great community radio. Radio Lex cannot do it without you.
Yeah.
Support the voice of the people today. Visit radiolex.us/donate and support Lexington's community radio right now.
I want to show you. I want to show that DC how you react.
Radio Lex has the support of Fuller's Family Home Care, voted Best Home Care Silver in the 2024 Best of Lexington competition hosted by the Lexington Herald Leader. You can learn more about Fuller's Family Home Care at fullersfamilyhomecare.com.
Radio Lex only exists in our community because of the generosity of supporting members like Graham Paul. Thank you for your ongoing commitment to the voice of the people. To learn how you can become a supporting member, visit radiolex.us/donate.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog. You cry.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. When Elvis Presley passed away, that was a celebrity death that shook the American culture. And folks, there have been deaths like Elvis Presley, like Hulk Hogan, that really sent shockwaves across America and across the world, for that matter. Elijah, you didn't really grow up with Elvis Presley, but you know who Elvis Presley is.
Yeah, everybody knows who he is.
Well,
yeah, I guess there could be a couple people.
I mean, you would be surprised with that. But, yeah, there's students of mine who don't know who Elvis is. I think that's weird, but yeah. But nonetheless, most people know who Elvis Presley is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say that was one of the biggest celebrity deaths that shook America?
That's probably one of the biggest celebrity deaths. I'd say it's up there with Michael Jackson.
Most people remember where they were when Elvis Presley passed away. Most people remember the moment when they heard the news. They remember what they were wearing, what they had on. That's what you call a celebrity death that shook the American culture. If you can remember specifically where you were, what you had on, what you were doing, that was a significant person to pass away. And if that affected a lot of people, not just you, but a lot of people had those same feelings as you, that would be considered a celebrity death that shook America's culture when they passed. And folks, recently, we've had a couple of deaths just in the last couple of weeks that shook the American culture. One being Hulk Hogan, who we just talked about on the last segment. The other being Ozzy Osbourne. But folks, there are more people as well. I mean, when Elvis died in 1977, it shook America because he was called the king. I mean, a lot of people seen Elvis as invincible. They seen him being immortalized when he passed away. They seen that he was not invincible, that he was human just like everybody else. And when he passed away, it just sent shockwaves across the American culture. Hulk Hogan being another one. Michael Jackson, Elijah mentioned that a while ago. Michael Jackson was a huge celebrity death. I remember they talked about that on the news for a year straight, every day, and it was always at the top of the ticker. I mean, you would think that the Michael Jackson story would have died down after 6 or 7 months, but it was on the top of the ticker for an entire year.
There's people that still talk about it to this day, that he was poisoned, that he was, somehow killed by the CIA, just some random stuff that you wouldn't even believe unless it was Michael Jackson, just from anybody else.
Right, and I think he died because he overdosed.
He overdosed.
Yeah, he overdosed. His doctor gave him too much. Well, some consider it an overdose death. Some consider it a homicide.
Yeah, some consider it maybe even a suicide, too.
Another celebrity death, folks, that people went absolutely bonkers over was John F. Kennedy. When he was assassinated in 1963, it sparked decades of conspiracy theories. You talk about conspiracy theories. It's when John F. Kennedy was killed. I mean, that was a death that is still talked about today. There are still movies, there's still documentaries on the death of JFK. People still don't know who shot him. There's always that theory, who shot JFK, who didn't. But it was one of those deaths that's still talked about. Princess Diana was another death that happened in 1997. Now, that's not an American death, but her death was so big, it had a huge cultural effect in the United States. Her funeral was broadcasted globally, and it was people like Elton John who performed at her funeral. She really became America's princess. I think her death made her more famous than what she was when she was alive. But the death of Princess Diana captivated the world. Not just America, it captivated the entire world. So, and folks,
like I said, like on even with Michael Jackson, there's theories about that too. You know, I mean, not even.
Oh yeah. There's always
going to be a theory about people's death, just to make a little bit more money off of it. You know.
Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968. Marilyn Monroe was another death in 1962. Tupac Shakur was another one who died in 1996, along with Notorious Big. I mean,
did they die pretty close together? I think they died like
I believe they were
months, maybe.
Wasn't they shot at the same time?
I think they were.
Maybe.
I know that I forget who it was, but it was a rapper that had something to do with Tupac. That I don't know if it was 50 Cent or somebody else that maybe.
Did he?
Yeah, no, he didn't have anything to do with his death. I know that he. I don't know if he liked him or not, but I know he said something about it after he died.
Kobe Bryant was another celebrity death that just shook America. People were shocked by it, and it's still talked about today. Robin Williams, when he committed suicide in 2014, it really changed how mental health was talked about in the media. People were shocked to hear that somebody who was jolly and happy and smiling all the time could be so depressed.
Yeah, and usually that's always the people who do it too. So, I mean,
John Lennon in 1980, he was murdered outside his New York City home. Whitney Houston, she died from an overdose, a death that people still talk about today. Heath Ledger, I think that the reason his death is still talked about today and the reason it shook people so much is because he was filming a movie actively. He was filming the movie when he passed away. He went back after filming some scenes to his hotel and died from an overdose trying to get to sleep.
Well, when The Dark Knight had came out, he was already dead when The Dark Knight had came out, so he didn't even get to go to the premiere.
And he won an Oscar after he was dead.
Yeah.
James Dean was another person that people talk about his death. Selena. Many people might not know who that is. Selena, do you know who Selena is?
The singer.
Yeah, she's the Spanish singer. She died in 1995. There was a whole movie that J-Lo starred in depicting the life of Selena. She was considered to be she was supposed to be what J-Lo became. That's what Selena was supposed to become. Had Selena had not made had she not have died, there might have not have been a J-Lo. Chadwick Boseman, he passed away in 2020, shockingly. He died from cancer, and he didn't tell anybody he had it. He died. And then after he died, that's when he revealed, or his family revealed, that he had cancer, and he was living with it. But he didn't want people to know he had it. And I can understand his thought process behind that. A lot of people don't want you to know when they're sick because they don't want you to look at them differently. They don't want to feel differently. But it made his death all the more shocking. And folks, that has been some of the biggest celebrity deaths that I feel like shocked America. Elijah, did I leave any off? Is there any that you can think of besides?
I know that Chadwick Boseman had died. I don't know if it was shortly after or before Stan Lee had died.
Did I say Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, you did.
Did I say Kobe? No, that was a big one.
He was a big one, yeah.
That was a big one.
I can remember where I was whenever Kobe Bryant died. That was right before COVID too. That was right before COVID had started. which that's another subject in and of itself.
So who, out of personally for you, what celebrity death affected you the most?
Well, recently it's probably been Kobe Bryant. More recently it's probably been Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember where I was when Kobe Bryant died. I mean, I think anybody, because it was such a shocking death. I mean, he died in a helicopter crash. That's crazy. You know, that's not like anything really like, oh, well, he died of a heart attack, or like Hulk Hogan did. Like, a helicopter crash is a little bit more extreme.
Yeah.
Along with his daughter and a couple of other people as well. So, I mean, it was definitely extreme. So you definitely know where you are whenever you hear something like that.
You definitely do. But, folks, it's just one of those inevitable things about life. Death is inevitable. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to all of us eventually. You never know when it's going to happen, where it's coming, when it's coming, how it's going to come, but it will come. And it doesn't make the news any less shocking when we hear it. Even when we expect somebody to die, when they've been really sick for months, when they die, it still shocks us. And those deaths definitely were some of the most notable deaths that are still talked about today. Folks, I've got an exciting song to play for Off the Cuff Song of the Week. It's a little local boy, John Michael Montgomery. I'm going to be playing him because John Michael is coming to Lexington, and yes, I'm going to that concert. He will be in Lexington on December the 13th. It's his last show, he said. He says after this show, he's retiring. So how about for Off the Cuff's Song of the Week to celebrate the retirement of John Michael Montgomery and his upcoming show in Lexington? Here he is with Letters from Home. We'll be back after the song.
I hope this letter catches up with you and finds you where.
Did I do okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You did great. Yes.
You've got a couple more minutes.
Yeah, I've got just a few more things to talk about. How is the show?
You definitely left somebody out that I'm not thinking of. Who am I thinking of that you left out that died? I don't know.
How is the show?
It's good. It's great. I might be able to get some tickets to that.
I'm going.
Oh, you're going?
Yeah.
I might get me a ticket to that.
Well, yeah, come.
No, I mean, like, I might be able to get a pretty good ticket to it.
Do you like John Michael Montgomery?
Yeah. He's good.
I like his song.
I know his brother.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Can we talk about that?
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, no, we can't talk about that. He probably wouldn't like that if you heard it.
So we can't even say you live with Eddie's son? No.
I'll talk to you about that later.
Okay. We won't have to say that. Oh, that would have been such a great thing to add to.
Yeah, no. Sorry. Yeah, he doesn't really like his name out there a lot, you know? Just not like, he tries to disassociate himself, I think, the most, so that way nobody looks at him differently. You know? But I get why it would be endearing to hear about. Which I just realized that's racist.
Oh, yeah. Turn that down just a little. If they hear any at all on this, they cut me off.
Oh, okay. Facebook will cut you off for that?
Mm-hmm. If they hear any music, oh yeah, they block the video
That's
too.
weird.
Cut you off, block it. Can't have any music unless you buy it. You have to buy the rights.
Isn't that weird about that guy? The picture I showed you just now. He looks just like him. It's even got the same head shape and everything.
That is weird. I used to think that Raven's son looked like Dad. I could tell in the eyes.
It's his head.
Yeah, it's something. They've got the same face.
Yeah.
It's
if you look at his hands too, he's even got the same hands.
Same hands. I know
it's
it.
weird.
Uh-huh.
I've never met him.
I haven't either.
Well, Dad's barely met him. I don't even think Dad's met him a lot. I know he's younger than Dad, not by a lot though. He's told me a lot of stuff about that whole situation.
You're crying.
I mean, John Michael Montgomery was my sister's favorite singer of all time. I mean, it's because of her that I know who John Michael Montgomery is. But she loved her some John Michael Montgomery. I don't know if I'm going to say that was her first crush, but it was definitely the first artist I remember her being obsessed over. And I liked his music too. And he's right here from Kentucky. He'll be in Lexington in December for his final concert tour. And that's a show that I've got to get to. Folks, have you ever wondered when these celebrities pass away? We've been talking about celebrities passing away. Have you ever wondered how much money that these celebrities leave behind? You know, what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world but lose his very own soul? And that is a very true verse, right? Because we can't take anything with us once we die. When we die, we don't take nothing with us. We leave the same way we come. We leave naked, right? We were born into the world naked. We don't even leave with our clothes on. We leave the world naked. We leave. We die. So we don't take anything. We don't take any earthly possession with us. But that doesn't mean that there is not a lot left behind that these celebrities leave behind. So I did some digging here, and I started wondering who are the highest paid dead celebrities still yet? Who is dead but still is the highest paid celebrity? Now these 13 here are the 13 highest paid dead celebrities. These particular celebrities, folks, are the highest paid dead celebrities even today. Michael Jackson tops off the list at number 1. Freddie Mercury, number 2. Dr. Seuss, number 3. Elvis Presley, 4. Rick Ocasek, which is a musician. Prince, number 6. Bob Marley, number 7. Charles Schultz. Matthew Perry at number 9. John Lennon at 10. James Brown, 11. Arnold Palmer, the famous golfer, at number 12. And Whitney Houston at 13, folks. That is how much earnings. They are the highest paid dead celebrities they're still making bank. Now, whoever the heir is to their will, whoever the heir is to their money, is the ones who get that money. For instance, all of Michael Jackson's kids get all the money he makes. All of Freddie Mercury's belongings go to, I don't know who Freddie left his stuff to, because he never had no kids, no wife, or anything like that. But Matthew Perry from Friends, he didn't have a wife. He didn't have kids. But there was somebody that he left his money to, I am sure. And whoever that is still getting millions and millions of dollars, and they will for the rest of their life, because Matthew Perry was entitled to $1 million for the rest of his life, thanks to the syndication of Friends. But those folks are the highest paid dead celebrities still even yet today, even in death. But all right, folks, we still have one more segment to go right here on Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Radio X has the support of Meadowthorpe Assisted Living and Memory Care.
Oh, yeah.
Best
That is her favorite.
Silver in the 2024
so.
Best
Really?
of Lexington competition hosted by the Lexington Herald Leader. You can learn
I don't know if she's like that about him anymore.
Probably not, but she's still pretty good.
She would probably...
Radio Lex has the support of Lexmark International. Lexmark.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Last segment of the hour. Today's national holiday is Lifeguard Appreciation Day, where we set a day aside to celebrate all of the lifeguards out there. Maybe you have been saved from a lifeguard before, and if you have, you definitely know how to appreciate a lifeguard. I used to want to be a lifeguard growing up. It looked so easy. It looked so chill. Just people sitting on the beach, sitting by the pool all day, just baking in the sun. The only thing they had to worry about was just not getting tan lines. Because nobody really ever drowned. You never really seen people drowning. Not to say it don't happen, but I used to want to be a lifeguard until I took the lifeguard test. I took it at Morehead State because I thought I wanted to be a lifeguard one summer. So I was like, yeah, let me just go take the lifeguard test. It'll be easy peasy because everybody from my home county was lifeguards. They told me what they had to do for the test. They said they were done in like 20 seconds. I was like, great. That's not how the test goes at Morehead State. Folks, it was an Olympic type of lifeguard licensing that they were trying to give me here. They made me, first of all, get in the pool and swim a mile straight. And then, after that, I was required to swim down to the bottom of a 10-foot pool, and pick up a 20-pound dummy and take it to the top of the pool and swim it back over to the side. I didn't have the lung capacity for that at the time, so I failed with flying colors, and my dream of a lifeguard went down the tubes. I have almost drowned before, though, and although it was not a lifeguard that saved my life, it was somebody that saved my life, and they were my savior for that day, for that instance, for that particular situation. They were my lifesaver. Maybe not a lifeguard. And I don't know. Elijah, have you ever been pulled out of the pool before?
Yeah, by you.
Yeah. Tell that
So
story.
there was this little girl. It was whenever I was like 12 years old. She had jumped on my back and just started trying to weigh me down. And eventually she got off, but I had intake some water into my lungs, and you had eventually gotten me out.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that.
It was a very annoying experience.
I remember that. It's a scary experience. Yeah. I mean, because even though you were trying your best to yell for me, because I remember you were trying at first and you couldn't get words out.
I couldn't get the words to, because whenever you're underwater, sound doesn't travel. So, yeah, I mean, you can't even scream.
You were trying to get it out, but you're in that moment. You're thinking, "I'm going to die."
Yeah, I'm going to die. I mean, I can feel the water entering my lungs. Yeah. It's over.
Yeah, it has to be one of the scariest ways to go. So you really, really, I mean, and how much did you love me?
Oh gosh, I mean, I could have sat right there and married my own brother right there.
Yeah, because you when somebody saves your life, you feel so indebted.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I
still am in debt to you.
I was on a boat for Labor Day one time, and I was swimming in the lake, and it was one of those boats that you have to pull yourself up on to get inside. And I was so weak from swimming so long in the water, I wasn't able to pull myself up. And I almost drowned. And I told one of my friends on the boat, his name was Taylor, and I told Taylor, I said, "Taylor, I need you to help pull me up. I can't pull myself up." And he's like, "Oh, sure you can." And he was like, "You're going to have to help me out a little bit, Adam. I can't pull you." He thought I was exaggerating. I was like, "I can't. You're going to have to pull me. You're going to have to get me out of this water." I was slipping down. I was going down. And dude, that guy, with all his strength, he pulled me out of that water. And still to this day, I would give him $10 million if I had it.
Well, swimming uses all the muscles in your body.
Yeah.
Every muscle in your body is being worked whenever you're swimming. So if you're swimming for minutes, maybe even hours at a time, I mean, you're going to be exhausted.
And I better not hear anybody ever say anything mean about this man, say anything negative about this man. I will go to the fire for him and fight for him. He saved my life, so I will fight for Taylor, the guy who saved my life from swimming. But folks, that's what today's national holiday is all about. It's National Lifeguard Day. You can celebrate lifeguards today. Just a few kind of fascinating facts about drowning here. It says that drowning happens so quickly that by the time a potential rescuers gets to the victim, it's too late. It says drowning is the third leading cause of unintentional deaths in the world. An estimated 300,000 deaths are caused by drowning around the world annually. Children aged 1 to 9 and male adults are most at risk of drowning. And everyone is susceptible to drowning, regardless of gender or age. So there you go, folks. It can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter how old you are, what color you are, how tall you are, how strong you are. It could happen. So just be mindful when you're out swimming. Don't get in the deep end, and please don't swim and try to swim by yourself if you can't swim. But common sense should tell you that. But in case you need a reminder, you're getting it from me right now, folks. Don't be getting out and trying to swim no Olympic race when you're not even that good of a swimmer, especially out in ferocious waters like the ocean. But folks, that pretty much wraps up another episode of Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. If you liked what you heard today, you'll probably like all of our previous episodes. We archive them all on podcasts. We are on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you stream your podcasts. We release new episodes every Thursday, live, broadcasted right here at WLXU 93.9 FM. Welcome our new affiliate, WMMT 88.7 in Whitesburg, Kentucky. We're so happy to have you a part of our listening audience, and we're so happy that you are now a part of the family. Elijah, thank you so much for being here yourself.
Thank you for having me.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me, the show host, on social media at The Adam Banks. You can follow the show on social media at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the King of Radio, and this is Off the Cuff. I will catch you down the road.
But I feel